Good afternoon, this is Jim Whitehead of All Power, and today we're going to talk about the differences between standby generators that potentially run on propane and solar generators that run off of batteries and get charged, in this case either solar, or when you have power you can charge them off your utility power. We will explore the differences between the two types of generators, including their working principles, advantages, disadvantages, and typical applications. Now, the picture that you're seeing is why we have such a bad grid situation. People say, oh, it's not getting any better, it's not getting any better. Well, it's not, because they really don't do any maintenance to it generally. They only fix that which is broken. And as you see, with it being above ground, it's basically sensitive to all the environment. Heat, wind, sun radiation. In fact, this morning we found out that AT&T lost their power for their cellular, and it blamed on basically a big solar ejection. Now, talking about a generator, what you're looking at is a typical 26 kW generator on the right. On the left is a transfer switch, and what happens is you get your FPL, if it's FPL or utility, coming in to the transfer switch, and you also have the power lines coming from the generator connected to the transfer switch. And when you lose power, they start up automatically during a power outage. And what happens is after about 10 seconds, they will transfer onto the generator and will continue running for as long as you do not have power. Now, these typically can run and have, run for quite a while. Disadvantages, though, is the upfront cost is high. Installing a generator itself can be expensive, as I said. It also requires maintenance to assure reliability. Standby generators need periodic maintenance, and sometimes they're not ready and no one knows it until you lose power and it doesn't start up. Now, the big thing is you have to have installed on your property. In this case, as an example, is a 1,000-gallon propane tank. Typically, code requirements has it where we bury that. That's expensive. And propane averages, it goes up in the summer, down in the winter, supply and demand, is about $3 a gallon. And a generator will burn about 3 to 4 gallons an hour. So you can run out of propane and you have no power. Now, let's go over to the solar generator side. Up until recently, let's say 6 to 8 months ago, they were great, but they weren't powerful enough to replace or be installed instead of your home standby generator. But now, and what you're looking at, and this is a system I have in this building that I'm talking to you, that I'm in, it gets charged via solar panels. If there isn't solar or sun, it's rain, I can charge it via another battery. I can also charge it off of my utility power, and if you're using it just as standby, it will be fully loaded with storage battery power and will go into the same situation you're seeing the transfer switch on the right. It will say, ooh, I'm out of power, and it will transfer down to your battery system. Now, what has made these so good is the fact, in the upper right hand corner, that's an additional battery. Very easy to put another battery add it to the two that you see on the left. I can add totally 5 batteries to this particular inverter, and I can keep adding. It's pretty cool. You see the transfer switch in the lower right again. That has 3 connections. So in other words, I can add 2 more inverters with up to 5 panels, which would give me literally 90 kilowatt hours of storage, and that's quite a lot of time. And the fact that all I really have to worry about in a sense of helping keeping these charged is when you get through whatever, if it's a storm and you lose power, the sun comes out, and now you're able to, even if you're still, out of power, you can still, end up charging what you're taking out of the battery to supply power to your home. So I've been a generator company for over 20 years. Bottom line, if someone today says to me, hey, what should I do? Should I get a home standby generator, or should I get a solar generator with solar panels, etc., etc.? I would have to say, get the solar generator. They're cheaper. With the standby, I showed you the propane tank, that has to be installed. That in itself can be in the area of $10,000 just for installing the tank. And the electrical, the transfer switches, and it has to go on a slab. And with permitting on the generator side, you have to get an electrical permit. You have to get what we call plumbing, but it's really gas. And I was a gas contractor. You got to dig trenches, you got to buy wire, you can install the transfer switch, you have to integrate it into your main home panel, for example. But with the solar generator, the whole package is significantly cheaper. There's very little actual installation. And the only thing we would be installing, if we're going to do a whole house battery solar generator, is the transfer switch in the lower right. And you can have more than one, etc., etc. So permit-wise, you only have to really get an electrical permit for just that electrical panel. So I hope I've had it where I relate to you the significant savings. We can do one of these installations after we get the equipment. We order the equipment, get the equipment. We can have this all installed in one day, because all we're doing is putting that panel in electrically near where your main electrical panel is. And you say to us, I want to run, hot water, refrigeration, AC, etc., etc. So bottom line, it's only that small amount of installation. So you pay a lot less, and we can do it in a day. With the generator, with the additional permitting, and you really can't do anything until you get the permit. I would say when customers would ask me how long is it going to take to get this standby generator installed, I would say anywhere from a month to 2 months. And it isn't where we goof off, it's just the amount of time. There's about a week of work, but it gets spread out because we have to have inspections all along the way. So you have to do something, call in for an inspection, they come out the next day, inspect it, and then we can go to the next step. So really, even though it's only a week of work, it takes, with permit process, it takes about 2 months or so. I want to thank you. I have fun doing this. I am still doing businesses, but the great point is that I love content creation, and I appreciate the opportunity for this. And again, thank you very much for your time today. I appreciate it.